Hello, everybody, and welcome to your writer's warm-up from Jesse Stong and Playwrights Workshop Montreal, and a little bit of Christina Aguilera this morning. That song and me have a long history. We go way back. Hello, thanks for joining me. Hello to everyone. Patricia, hello, Anne Rainbow's back. Elizabeth, nice to see you all. Anne is coming from the UK, actually, so it's like the afternoon. You said it's 3:15 p.m. So thank you for joining us this morning. This afternoon, we're going to do a really great activity today, and it's going to be 6 minutes of writing. So start stretching your fingers. I want to say really quickly, hello and thank you to all the new subscribers. There was like something like 10 of you came last week, so hello to all the new people, and please keep subscribing. If this is your first time watching, or if this is your few times watching, just scroll down there, press like, press subscribe, press share. It's really helpful. Hello, Justin. Hello, Monet. How are you? From Zurich, somebody's writing. Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, today we're looking at your characters' reactions and how do they generally react, what's their go-to reactive state, but also how do they react to a particular situation. I've been thinking a lot today about how the world is just so out of control right now, and there's so much happening, and there's so much to process, and we can't really control anything. All we can control is our reaction to things. We can't even control our emotions. They're like neurochemical things that happen within us and all these circumstantial things that happen externally. All we can really control is how do we react. We can only work on that little axis of control, right? This is starting to sound like an AA meeting. I want to say really quickly, the Batshaw Center Foundation is for kids in Quebec in the foster care system, and I really love this charity, batshawfoundation.ca. You have to really think during this COVID time, what can I do to help? And you can post a lot of things online, and you can do a lot of all this talk, but really where we need a lot of help is the children, the elderly, people who have immune compromised, things where we need help, right? So think about these kids who are in these foster homes, who their volunteer system is dried up right now because of COVID. Their school is closed because of COVID. They don't necessarily have homes to go to. They're in the foster care system, some of them, in group homes. So if you can give to that foundation, really just click batshawfoundation.ca. Think about it. I also want to say really quickly that I'm going to once a week now. There's 21 videos. This is the 21st video, my lucky number 21. And I'm going to give myself a little summer break by getting rid of the Mondays. So don't be mad at me, but there's no more Mondays. I'm going to see you every Friday from now on, one episode a week. If you want to really stay on the ball, just go back and redo those old... I've been doing those activities for like 20 years. So a lot of those activities you can do over and over and over again, right? So don't be sad. I'll see you every Friday still. And there's lots of old stuff to watch if you miss me. Are we gonna have time for this? Let's go. We can't really control how... Oh no, I already said that part. We don't always get it right the first time when we have a character react to something. In fact, sometimes we get really excited. We're like, yes, I nailed it. I got it. That's the reaction. That's what I want to happen. And then the next day we're like, oh, wait, I hate that. Or sometimes we think we did something so amazing and brilliant, and then we get it read out loud and it's like a joke, right? I once had one of my first play readings when I was 20. I had this really emotional, dramatic scene I had written the night before, and I was like, oh my God, it's so good, everyone's gonna cry, and the actors all started laughing, and they laughed me out of the studio that day. I remember being 20 years old and like so devastated, when actually it's like, yeah, you take a lot of risks, you try things out. That's what being a writer is, and sometimes you're gonna hit the mark, sometimes you're gonna think you hit the mark, but you didn't, so you gotta get over it, right? That's Craig's favorite line, get over it. So instead of just making a reaction and going forward with the plot, let's stop and look at our reactions. Let's check out all the possibilities. Let's play with it. So what we're going to do is, I want you to think of a character, any character. If you don't have one, just make one up or let it be yourself or a character based on somebody. And I want you to think of a conflict that this character is going to go through. It can be a little conflict, a big conflict, a person, a place, or a thing standing in their way. It can be an external conflict. It can be an internal conflict. It can be a pre-conflict, like a lot of Disney stories start with a parent dying before the story starts. It can be like a conflict at the beginning. It can be a conflict at the end. Maybe you've gone through your whole story and now your character is facing death or facing a new journey. Either way, I want you to think of a character and a conflict that they're going through. Oh, Craig's here. Lucky 21. That's my lucky number. November 21st is my birthday. Get me cake. Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to think of the conflict, and we're going to look at fight, flight, and freeze, right? Those psychological reactions that we have to things. I think there's a fourth one too, but I can't remember what it is. And we're going to go a little backwards. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to write in this character's voice. You're going to write as fast as you can. You're going to write about the conflict. You're not writing your story right now. You're just exploring the possibilities of this reaction. So the first thing I want, start stretching your hands. If you get stuck, write blah, blah, blah till the next word comes. Don't stop your pencil from moving. Don't edit. Don't look at the sky. Don't erase anything. You're moving forward, writing activity. We're going to be sweating by the end of it. Oh, we're going to run out of time. Okay, so for the first minute and a half, 1.5 minutes, this conflict has come in front of your character. They're going to freeze. I want you to write, what does that look like if they freeze? If they don't know what to do, they can't process it, they're stuck. 1 minute, 30 seconds, just write from the place of, what does it feel like? What do I see? What do I sense? What do I feel like when I have this conflict in front of me and I freeze? Go, write the freeze. Got a minute, 30 seconds. What do you see? How does freezing feel? Where in your body is frozen? Maybe your character doesn't freeze very often. How does it feel for them? Write faster, don't think. You can write half sentences, be messy. Freezing, stuck, trapped, comatose. You're just trying to find words, images. You got 30 more seconds. Why are you frozen? Why? Answer that. $20 seconds. Feel the freeze. What does it feel like? $10 seconds, finish it. Good. Stop. My timer froze. That's very weird. Froze. Freeze. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So the next thing I want you to do. Oh yeah, the fourth one is friend. Thank you, Patricia. Maybe friend will be what you do in your own time. We're not doing friend today. So you froze. Now I want you to have the same conflict, same character. You're just continuing the journey of processing possibilities. I want you to look at flight. Flight. Running away from it. Hiding from it. Getting out of there fast. What does that feel like? How does flight work if that was their reaction? 1 minute, 30 seconds, go. You decide to run. What does it look like? Escape. Avoid. What about it makes you want to run away? Why would this make you run away? Write faster. Go. Surprise yourself. Messy, messy. Words, words, words. What's going through your mind as you run away? $30 more seconds. What's going to happen if you run away? What's the consequence of escaping this? $20 seconds, just surprise yourself. What are the images that come when you think of running away from this conflict? What about the conflict is scary, makes you run away? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're not stuck how you started, right? You can change it. Maybe there's 2 different ways that you would run away. So the last one is fight. You're deciding, first I was frozen. I didn't think I could respond. Then I ran away. I considered that possibility. Now I'm going to fight it. I'm going to take it on. Maybe this is your whole story. I don't know. But try to just think very specifically, what does that fight look like? What does that decision sound like? What does the circumstance look like that makes you go, okay, I can fight this, or I have to fight this, or I'm going to fight this, or I should fight this, right? Like, how's your character process the fight? 1.5 minutes, go. Describe the fight, the battle. If it's a comedy, make it a funny fight. If it's a serious, get dramatic. What's the first swing, the first punch? What's the warrior stance? How do you get brave enough to fight it? Or is it a coward fight and you're like, I don't care. I'm going to fight it and be a coward. Keep going. Don't stop. Blah, blah, blah if you get stuck. Maybe your character doesn't usually fight. Write about that. You got 20 more seconds. What's the end of this fight? How does it end up in your mind? 15 seconds. Good. So it's important to remember that our brains, stop writing now, stop writing. And that's the thing too, when the time's done, the time's done. You can go, if you have more to say, that's good. You always want to return to the writing with more to say, right? So the thing is that our brain does this, and maybe we don't notice it because our brain is so fast, right? But when we're faced with the circumstance, when we're faced with a conflict, our brain goes through the possibilities, right? In the psychic world, they say the future hasn't happened yet. It's just a series of potentials, of possibilities, right? That's what the future is. And our brain is like this computing machine that goes through the options, right? Before it makes a step forward, there's that half a second where they decide fight, flight, freeze. And they consider the possibilities, they weigh it out, and they make a choice. And to you, it feels like I see a conflict, I fight. I see a conflict, I flight. But your brain took a little journey, and it's important to make your characters as rich as real human beings, to bring your characters through the potentials before you go forward. And it helps you really think, did I make the right decision? Did I consider the possibilities? Now, you're going to do one sentence for me, and you can write it in the comments if you want. My character blank because blank. My character fought because why? My character flew because why? My character froze because why? And maybe it was a mix. Maybe it's my character froze and fought because, right? So I want you to try to answer that sentence for me. You just did this writing. Try to summarize it in one powerful sentence. My character fought because they're afraid. My character fought because they're brave. My character flew because it was too much to handle. My character froze because that's how they've always been, right? I want you to answer that question. And write your comment, write it in the comments. I'd love to hear your answers. I can't believe is it actually like a minute early? 2 minutes? Oh my goodness. What else do I have to say about it? A play has a spirit. Oh wait, that's next week's character. So I really want to thank you guys for doing the work and showing up. If I have an extra minute, I'm so inspired when I see the numbers going up and I see everybody going back and doing exercises, the new comments, and just, I don't know, you should be really proud of yourself, because how do you control your writing? You can't control your writing. How do you control your artistry? You can't. But you can choose to fight it this morning, run from it, or freeze, right? You're writing ahead, you're fighting. Tyson, Tyson Knight, rising star. My character fought because she became honest with herself. See, and that's really great. It's like we think fighting in terms of aggression, but what about it in terms of honesty? The honesty explodes out of you sometimes, right? Justin says, my character fought because he decided it was time to do the opposite of what everyone expected. So you learn two things, that your character fought in this situation, but that your character's natural proclivity is to not fight, right? Which is also why this exercise is interesting, to see which one your character feels more comfortable with. What mix of this, right? Anne Rainbow from the UK. Peter froze because he cannot flight. He cannot get out of his chair unaided. Oh, so that's interesting. So it's actually like it was less of a choice, it was more circumstances. Sometimes the other options aren't possible. It'd be interesting, Anne, to read what you wrote in those sections where you had to react in the impossible way. Because that could be a fantasy scene, that could be a psychological internal thing. When it says, my character flew because it was easier than to look at oneself. And that's another thing. Sometimes our reactions are like avoiding a more complicated reaction. People assume the fight is because you took on the bravest choice, but actually sometimes fighting is the easiest choice, right? She flew because she refused to see the truth, right? Yeah, refusing. So it's great. You guys are really getting it, I think. It's that the reason we do things is there's always a psychological underpinning. And if you want your character to be rich and make the right choice, you got to explore your options. You're not stuck with the first choice you made. You're not stuck with the first reaction. You got to get to know those characters and be interested in them. I'm so impressed with you guys today. I love you all. I'll see you next Friday, not Monday. Don't be sad. Maybe come on Monday morning and watch one of those older videos. Thanks all for coming out. Thank you all so much. I don't know where my button went in order to turn this thing off. I'll see you all very soon. Where's the off button? Oh no, they rearranged this widget. I'll see you all soon. You're all doing really good work. Have a good... See, I'm like frozen. Stop fighting freeze. See you later.